Hello, it's your girl 3. Girl on Fire 3.0, and I'm coming to you today with another video recording. Okay, so you know what? I'm thinking about doing a video series called Facebook Fuckery or something like that. Um, but what I want to talk about today is just some of the hypocrisy, the fake hypocrisy, and the fake outrage, and the fake confusion of Black people, African American people. It's just so fake and hypocritical. There was an article, and you guys might know this person. I don't know who he is, but you guys probably do. It says, "Did Cam Newton just come out the closet and admit to being gay?" The article itself is nothing special, it's just about this guy, but it's the comments that just make me want to, you know, take my nails and like put them over like a chalkboard. You know how you hear that sound? That's how I feel when I see some of these comments. Um, Black people want to pretend, African American people want to pretend like they don't know why there's suddenly tons and tons of these effeminate, gay, and down low, beta Black males all over the place. We have a community of just lady boys. They're effeminate, they're hyper masculine. They try to be hyper masculine. Obviously, they're trying to compensate for something. Um, and I can tell you why that there's so many of these effeminate, sexually confused beta males running around all over the place. These down low, bisexual, um, effeminate beta males all over the place. Because a lot of these guys, a lot of these men were molested as children. The molestation rate for Black males is high. I don't know what the real true number is because it gets reported even less than Black women who are molested. We know that the reported rate of Black girls is 65%, and they say for every um, one that gets reported, 15 go unreported. So the number is even higher. I'm not saying the number of molestations is even higher for Black males, but the number that doesn't get reported for Black males being molested in the Black community is also very high, and it gets reported even less. In the Black community, in the African American community, anything that has to do with Black males molesting children and raping, it's hushed up, it's swept under the rug, it's kept quiet. But you know what? I'm here today to shine some light on these dirty, deep, dark secrets of the African American community. And you know what? Everybody else needs to start talking about it. This is because this is the truth. Black people know why there's these effeminate beta males running all over the place, these down low, bisexual, effeminate, gay, trans, whatever, males all over the place. These men who act like women or who's hypersexualized because, they're trying to compensate. They've been molested. They've been molested as children. And they don't get any help for it. And the fake outrage, the hypocriticalness of it is just mind-boggling. Well, you know what? No, I'm gonna talk truth because we know what's going on. We're just told never to talk about it. So we have to pretend like it's something else, like we're confused, like we don't know. Yeah, I know exactly what's happening. Black males are being molested at high rates and it's swept under the rug. And Black women, their mothers co-sign a lot of the bullshit. Whether intentionally or unintentionally, they co-sign it. Because you have to protect that Black male at all costs. Even the Black male that's, molesting your Black male children. A lot of a lot of Black women, we know in the Black community that single motherhood isn't really single motherhood. It's not like these women are in their own homes with their children, raising their children by themselves. No, we know oftentimes that Black women will let men come and live, different men come and live with her, whether it's family members or boyfriends that's, coming and going. There's always some Black male that Black women are giving access to their children, and 9 times out of 10, these children are being molested. And just because you have a male child doesn't mean that they're not being molested, because they're being molested too. They're just as vulnerable as your girls. And so, Black women are conditioned and told to cover it up. It's swept under the rug, and their children are just supposed to get over it. Don't talk about it. It'll go away. We can't mention this. Your uncle molested you. It just gonna. We can't send Uncle Bobby to jail. So you just gonna have to, deal with it. This is the kind of stuff that goes on in the Black community. And then you want to feed pretense, like you don't know why you have a bunch of angry Black males all over the place. Black men might talk about weave and wigs and fake nails, but they're really angry about something else. And what they're angry at Black women, for one, for not, at their mothers, for not protecting them, and they take that out on Black women. And I can tell you for a fact that the vast majority of the He-Man Black Women Haters Club have been molested. That's why they're always foaming at the mouth. They're never going to talk about what's really bothering them or why they're really angry. Because everybody in Blackistan, everybody in the Black community is delusional and lying. This is how it keeps going. These dirty, dark secrets. That's not really even a secret. Because we know, and other people know too. I'm going to tell you guys a story. When I was in college, I had a friend. We had a lot of the same classes, so we would hang out and stuff like that. And we became really close because we both had some of the same experiences, and we bonded over that, and we both sought to get help, at that same time for our issues. And one day, she tells me that her son, I mean, I don't even know how we got on this conversation, but she had, a young male child. I think her son was about 8 or 9, and she had her boyfriend living with her, and he was in prison. Like a lot of desperate Black women, she had gotten involved with some guy who had just gotten out of prison, and this guy is living in her house with her and her son. And one day she tells me that her son hates it when she leaves. Like, he doesn't want her to leave the house. I get upset thinking about this, but knowing what I've been through, knowing what she's been through, I wanted to slap her in her face. I was so angry at her at the time. I said, your son is telling you when you leave the house that he doesn't want you to go, and like there's a reason for that. I'm like, and I told her straight point blank what it was. I said, your son is being molested by that man that you have in the house. I was so angry. I couldn't even talk to her after that. I couldn't. Yeah, her son was being molested. This man was fondling him, and oh my God, I can't. Like, how can you not know? Your son is telling you not to leave the house. This is the kind of stuff that Black women do. They co-sign, whether intentionally or unintentionally, they co-sign a lot of the dysfunction that goes on in the Black community. And it needs to stop. This pretense and this fake outrage and this fake hypocrisy, it needs to stop. That we need to start telling the truth. The dirty, dark secret that's really not a secret. We need to start talking about it. Black women like to pretend. I know black women don't give a damn about their daughters, the vast majority of them, but they like to pretend like they care about their sons. Well, if you really do care about your sons, like a lot of you guys claim you do, since, your black kings, they're your black kings, which is just a joke, but since you care about them so much, why don't you start protecting them? Stop giving these predatory black males access to your children. What black women need to really understand is that, and this is one of the problems, black women don't want to understand that black men are predators. It doesn't matter whether it's your father, your uncle, your brother, your boyfriend, your husband, they're predators. You cannot trust them around children, period. That might sound like crazy, but it's the truth. You cannot trust these men around your children. You cannot give them access to your children because they will be victimized. I don't know what it's going to take for black women to get this through their head. We have a bunch of effeminate, down low, gay, hypersexualized, or hyper masculine black beta males all running wild all over the place. Angry black beta males running around all over the place. And there's a reason for it. It's not the only reason, but it has a lot to do with it. And they're angry at black women. This is why black women are getting shot, stabbed, beat, raped every single day. It's a cycle. A lot of times these children, they don't need for their trauma to be swept under the rug. They need it to be dealt with because it's a proven fact that most people who are molested, most males, not women necessarily, but most males who are molested become molesters themselves. And it's uncurable. You can't cure them. And the reason why is because at the time when they were traumatized, that was the time when they would have needed to have gotten some therapy and some help and learned how to cope with what was happening to them. When you are molested, as a child, it's a trauma. It's a traumatizing. It's something that never goes away, and it haunts you. This is why, and it has a different effect, especially on sexes. So what happens with a lot of women when they're sexually molested, a lot of them will become very promiscuous at a young age because a lot of their value and self-worth is tied up into sex. That's how they get things. That's where they feel they are valued, through sex. So that's why a lot of females become sexually promiscuous when they've been molested, or they just have a complete repulsion to men, and they become they may become like gay. With men, it's a bit different because, there's a lot of shame that goes in with sexual child trauma abuse, but for men, it's that shame is even notched up even more because of the roles that men play in society. So it's even different for men. This is why you have a lot of sexually confused men running around, because when you have been sexually abused, it warps the way you even view sex. And even though you're going through something traumatic, your body will betray you because there are certain feelings that go with sex. And so a lot of these men, because they feel such shame and because they don't talk about it and because they don't get help or anything like that, they're sexually confused. They either become gay or they're bi, or they're just sexually confused. They don't know where they're at. And there's other things that go with trauma abuse too. There's dissociative personality disorder. There's all kinds of things that, depending on how severe the abuse is, But this is why you have a lot of sexually confused black, hyper masculine beta males running around all over the place. All these gay, effeminate people are like, oh my God, where's all these gay black men coming from? Well, it's coming because they're sexually confused. They're angry. They're angry at their mothers for not being able to protect them or not having protected them. And don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming black women for the things that black men do, for the abuse that black men do. What I'm blaming black women for is putting your children in the position to be victimized. Black women have no sense of self-preservation, not for themselves and not for their children. And ultimately, it's the children that always pay the price. Most of the time, when black women let these men live in their homes, these men are not really even interested in them. But because of their desperation, their low self-esteem, their desire and need to be loved and validated by these predatory black males, they will let these men into their homes and, while they're off at work or something, these men will, 9 times out of 10, will be molesting and raping their children. Male or female, it doesn't matter. Whether it's a boy or girl child, they will be molesting them. And, black women, at some point, you have to stop it. You have to stop. You're not the victim. Your children are the victims of your bad choices. And I'm just, sick of the fake morality and the fake outrage and the pretense. No, there's some dirty, nasty, dark secrets that are really not secrets in the black community. And you know what? It's time we blow the lid off of it and just, the world already can see it. So we just need to start talking about it, because this is madness, what's going on. The next time you hear some black male talking about weave and wigs and fake nails, think about this video. Please think about this video. And like Brooklyn Blue said, or Kendall St. Charles, when she said, just stop it. Just, black women, you guys are doing too much. Just stop it. Just stop birthing them. Save yourself pain, trauma, headache, stress, struggle, and just stop birthing them. Most of you guys are not in the position to be good mothers, and you can't do it. And you're only perpetuating a cycle of dysfunction and abuse. And it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. Gay black males, sexually confused black males, beta black males, hyper masculine black males, predatory black males, they're not going anywhere, because you guys keep just breeding more and more of them. And the same cycle just goes over and over and over again. So, like I say, just next time you hear some effeminate black male or some angry black male complaining about your wigs and weaves and different things like that, just think of this video and think about stopping it, really stopping it. And if you haven't had any children yet, really think about stopping it. I'm going to link Deborah Cooper's video. She did a great video about single motherhood and what single motherhood entails and what it should look like. I'm going to leave that video in the link. Please, if you know anyone who's interested, if you have any young black women friends, young black women relatives, if you think they can benefit from this video or Deborah Cooper's video, please share. And don't forget to rate and subscribe. Like I say, this is your girl on fire, and I am signing off. Have a nice evening.